Hey everyone! Welcome back to the channel. Or if this is your first time here, a huge welcome to you. I'm Emma, and today we have an episode that I think is going to change the way you study English forever. I want to ask you something honestly. Have you been studying English for months, maybe even years, and still feel like you're not making real progress? You watch videos, you do grammar exercises, you memorize vocabulary lists, but when someone speaks to you in English, you freeze. Sound familiar? Here's the truth. It's probably not your fault. The problem is the method, not you. Most English learners are doing things in a way that actually slows them down. And today, we're going to expose those mistakes and, more importantly, give you strategies that actually work. I'm joined today by my good friend and fellow English coach, Alex. Alex has worked with hundreds of learners from all over the world, and he's seen these patterns again and again. Alex, welcome to the show.
Emma, thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited about this topic because I feel like it's something every learner needs to hear. Like you said, most people are working really hard but using the wrong approach, and that's frustrating.
Exactly. Working hard but working in the wrong direction. So let's fix that today. Stick with us. This is going to be a great conversation. Let's start with mistake number 1. So Alex, let's jump straight in. What's the number one mistake you see English learners making?
Without a doubt, it's spending too much time memorizing grammar rules without ever using them in real conversation. I call it grammar textbook syndrome. A learner can explain every single rule about the present perfect tense, when to use have versus has, the difference between for and since, but the moment someone asks them a simple question like, "Have you ever been to London?" they go completely blank.
Oh, I've seen this so many times. The learner knows the rule perfectly on paper, but can't use it when it matters.
Exactly. And it makes sense why it happens. Schools teach grammar like math. Here's the formula, now memorize it. But language doesn't work like math. Language is picked up through patterns, through repetition, through hearing this same structure hundreds of times in different contexts. Your brain learns grammar intuitively when you're exposed to it naturally.
So what does what actually works look like for grammar?
Instead of studying a grammar rule and then doing fill-in-the-blank exercises, try this. Find 10 real sentences that use that grammar point. Sentences from books, podcasts, movies, real English. Read them aloud. Copy them. Write your own sentences using this same structure. Your brain will start to pick up on the pattern without you even trying to memorize the rule.
That's so much more natural. It's like learning grammar the way children do, through examples, not explanations.
Exactly right. Children don't study grammar, they absorb it. And adults can absolutely do the same thing. It just takes a shift in approach. Use grammar, don't just study it.
Love that tip. Okay, let's talk about mistake number 2. And this one I think so many people are guilty of, including me when I was learning.
Mistake number 2 is something I hear all the time from learners. I know what I want to say in my language, but I don't know how to say it in English. And the reason this happens is because they're translating, mentally converting every sentence from their first language into English before they speak.
Oh, yes, and that takes forever. By the time you've translated the sentence in your head, the conversation has moved on, and you've missed your chance to speak.
Exactly. And here's the other problem. When you translate directly, you often end up with sentences that are grammatically correct in your language but sound completely unnatural in English. Every language has its own logic, its own way of expressing ideas. You can't directly map one language onto another.
Give us an example of how this goes wrong.
Sure. In many languages, the equivalent of "I have hunger" is totally natural. But if a speaker translates that directly, they'd say, "I have hunger" in English, which sounds very strange. The correct phrase is, I'm hungry. Small difference, but it shows how direct translation can mislead you. The structures are just different.
So what's the solution? Because this habit is really hard to break, isn't it?
The goal is to start thinking directly in English, and you can train this. Start small. When you wake up in the morning, describe what you see around you in English. Your bedroom, your breakfast, your plans for the day. Don't translate, just find the English words for what's in front of you. You're building a habit of bypassing your native language.
I love that. It's like a little internal monologue in English.
Exactly. And another great technique is to learn phrases as complete units, not word by word. Instead of learning I am hungry separately, learn I'm hungry as one chunk. Fluent speakers don't think about individual words, they think in chunks. And when you learn language in chunks, you stop needing to translate.
Chunk learning, that's such a powerful concept. Okay, I know what mistake is coming next because it's probably the most common one I hear. Let's talk about speaking anxiety.
This is one that affects almost every learner I've ever worked with. They say things like, I'll start speaking when my English is better, or I just need to learn more vocabulary first, or I'm not ready yet. And they wait and wait and wait.
And the ready feeling never comes.
Precisely. And this is so counterproductive because speaking is actually the single fastest way to improve. You learn to speak by speaking, not by studying more and then speaking. Every conversation you avoid is a lost opportunity to grow.
Where does this fear come from, do you think?
Mostly it's a fear of making mistakes. Learners are afraid of looking foolish or of being corrected or of not finding the right word. But here's something really important. Native speakers are not judging you the way you think they are. When someone speaks to me in my language and makes grammar mistakes, my first thought is never, how terrible. My first thought is, wow, this person is trying to communicate in a second language. That's impressive.
That's such a reassuring way to think about it. And I'd add, even if you make a mistake, native speakers will usually understand you anyway. Communication doesn't require perfection.
So here's what actually works. Commit to speaking English for just 5 minutes a day, even if it's by yourself. Read a paragraph out loud. Describe what you did today. Talk to your pet in English. It sounds funny, but it works. You're building the habit of producing spoken English, and that makes it less scary over time.
And of course, if you can find a speaking partner, a language exchange partner, an online tutor, that's even better. Real conversations with real people give you feedback and build your confidence faster than anything else.
100%. And remember, every expert was once a beginner. Every fluent English speaker you admire once struggled with the same sentences you're struggling with now. The difference is they kept talking.
Beautifully said. Okay, we're halfway through our mistakes. Let's talk about something that relates to how people study, not just speaking. This next one is about passive versus active learning.
Okay, this one might surprise some people, especially learners who watch a lot of English content online and think they're studying. Watching English videos, listening to English songs, or having English TV shows playing in the background, that's not studying. That's passive consumption. And while it has some benefit, it won't take you very far on its own.
Oh, I think some of our viewers are cringing right now because many people do exactly this. They have English content on all day and expect it to soak in.
Right. And look, it's not completely useless. You get used to the rhythm of English, the sounds, common phrases, but your brain won't truly acquire language unless it's actively engaged. You have to be paying attention, thinking, and doing something with the language.
So give us the difference between passive and active learning with a real example.
Sure. Passive. You watch a 1-hour English podcast and let it play from beginning to end, checking your phone every few minutes. Active. You watch 10 minutes of that same podcast. Pause every time you hear a phrase you don't know. Look it up, say it aloud 3 times, write a sentence using it, and then continue. Which person do you think will remember more the next day?
The second person, without a doubt, even though they watch so much less content.
Exactly. Quality over quantity. 20 minutes of focused, active studying beats 2 hours of passive background noise every single time. Your brain learns best when it's challenged, when it has to work a little.
I love this. So, what does active engagement actually look like? Walk us through a method.
Sure, I call it the 3-step active method. Step 1, watch once through general understanding. Don't stop, don't look things up, just enjoy it and get the main idea. Step 2, watch again, this time with subtitles if you need them, and note 3 to 5 phrases or words you want to learn. Step 3, shadow the content. Repeat what the speaker says, copy their pronunciation, their rhythm, their expression. That third step is where the real magic happens.
That shadowing step is something we'll actually practice later in today's episode, so stay with us. Alex, let's get to the 5th and final mistake. What is it?
The 5th mistake is one that people often completely ignore, and it holds them back in conversations more than almost anything else. It's about pronunciation.
Can you give us some examples? Because I think this is where so many learners get confused when they listen to native speakers.
Absolutely. The classic one, what are you doing? In careful, slow speech, you might say each word clearly, but in natural, fast speech, it becomes something like, what are you doing? The words merge together. Or I don't know becomes I don't know. Or give me becomes gimme. If you only ever hear slow, clear English, natural conversation will sound like a completely different language.
And this is why learners sometimes say, I understand my teacher perfectly, but when I watch a real movie or talk to real people, I understand nothing.
Exactly. The gap between classroom English and real-world English is huge, and connected speech is one of the biggest reasons why. The solution is to expose yourself to authentic, natural English, not just textbook recordings. Podcasts like this one are great for that. Movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, real conversations between real people.
And for speaking, should learners try to copy connected speech or focus on being clear?
Great question. For most learners, the goal should be clarity first, then naturalness. You don't need to sound exactly like a native speaker, but you do need to understand how native speakers sound so you can follow conversations. And as you become more comfortable, your own speech will naturally start to flow more smoothly and sound more connected. It's a process, and it takes time, but it starts with listening more intentionally.
Perfect. So we've covered all 5 mistakes. Let's do a quick recap before we move on to something really practical, our shadowing exercise. All right, let's bring it all together. Alex, can you give us the 5 mistakes in one sentence each?
Of course. Mistake 1, studying grammar rules without using them in real context. Mistake 2, translating word by word from your native language instead of thinking in English. Mistake 3, waiting until you feel ready to speak, which means never speaking. Mistake 4, passive consuming, watching and listening without active engagement. And mistake 5, ignoring pronunciation and connected speech.
And the 5 solutions? Use grammar in context. Think in English chunks. Speak every day, even if it's scary. Use the 3-step active method. And listen to natural, authentic English regularly. Those are your action steps. Write them down.
The beautiful thing is that none of these solutions require any special tools or expensive courses. They just require a change in how you approach your practice every day. Small shifts, big results.
Love that. Okay, let's put one of those solutions into practice right now. It's shadowing time. Now it's your turn to speak. This is your shadowing practice.
I'm going to say each sentence slowly and clearly. You repeat it out loud after me. Ready? Let's go. Sentence 1. I've been learning English for 2 years, and I'm getting better every day. Great. Once more. I've been learning English for 2 years, and I'm getting better every day. Sentence 2. Instead of waiting until I'm perfect, I practice speaking every chance I get. Excellent. Again. Instead of waiting until I'm perfect, I practice speaking every chance I get. Sentence 3. Learning phrases as chunks helps me speak more naturally and fluently. Well done. One more time. Learning phrases as chunks helps me speak more naturally and fluently. Nicely done. Now let's try a few at a slightly faster, more natural pace, just like a real conversation. Sentence 4. Making mistakes is part of the process. That's how you grow. Again. Making mistakes is part of the process. That's how you grow. Last sentence. Every day I'm building new habits that are going to change my English forever. Say it like you mean it. Every day I'm building new habits that are going to change my English forever. Wonderful work. Seriously, every time you do an exercise like that, you are training your mouth, your brain, and your confidence all at the same time. That's what active learning looks like, and that's why it works. Alex, this has been such a valuable conversation. Any final words for our learners before we go?
Just this. Learning English is a journey, not a destination. There will be difficult days. There will be days when you feel like you're going backwards. But if you stay consistent, even for just 20 minutes a day, and if you apply the methods we talked about today, you will see real, lasting progress. I promise.
That's the best note to end on. Thank you so much, Alex. It was genuinely wonderful having you here today.
My pleasure, Emma. And thank you to everyone watching. You're already doing something right just by being here and learning actively.
And to all of you, if this episode helped you, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below telling us which mistake you were most guilty of, and share it with a friend who's learning English. That really helps us grow this community. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. We put out new episodes every week to help you on your English journey. See you in the next one.
See you in the next one.